Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie, and this is Unity Consciousness. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'd like to welcome our new subscribers and also thank those of you who are returning for this week's energy update. Let's jump right in. Well, we've got some very profound energy that will be coming in later this week with the new moon in Aquarius, and we'll get to that in just a minute. It's going to usher in just an elevated frequency shift. And I'm excited about that, quite frankly. If there are any areas where you've been stuck, we'll think about that new moon in Aquarius energy setting an intention at that time. But let's talk about what's happening today. We spoke about it earlier in the last video about the YOD that's perfecting. We have Mercury, which is in Capricorn, is sextiling Neptune, which is in the sign of Pisces. And we also have Venus, which was part of the very profound energy last week in Pisces, sextiling Uranus with perfection today. And because we have Venus and Uranus sextiling, and they are both quincunx, Black Moon Lilith, that's that YOD we spoke about last week. Now, when we bring Mercury in Capricorn sextile Neptune into the equation that we spoke about relative to the YOD last week, and relationship dynamics and sudden changes and or new dynamics, I guess, that come in from out of the blue that make you want to pivot, but it's a little bit complex because it's a YOD. Well, that Mercury in Capricorn sextile Neptune is allowing our intuition to be on point. It's very good for creativity, but creativity with practicality. So I like this energy because it blends really well as we try to work with that YOD, the dynamics of the YOD, and the energy that really was complex last week and challenging, and how that we can, find our way through that with practicality, with creativity, okay? Then on the 27th, tomorrow, Mercury is going to enter Aquarius. So it's an air sign, yes, of course, Aquarius is an air sign, but with Mercury going into this area, we could be talking about new technology innovations, that sort of thing. Mercury in the sign of Aquarius is kind of out-of-the-box communication styles. It's non-traditional, especially coming from Capricorn into Aquarius. You go from a very traditional, practical state of being to this very futuristic and humanitarian speak, and it can be somewhat eccentric. We could be seeking out knowledge. There's a lot of that relative to Aquarian energy as well. Please be mindful of your thought process. We've got that new moon coming up on the 29th, just 2 days later. And our thoughts and their ability to manifest are going to be very strong this week as well. So just be mindful of your thought process. Now on the 28th, we will have a very interesting day. Circle it on your calendar. And if you are a Libra or a Taurus, you really need to pay attention to the dates that I'm going to give you. Venus is going to enter shadow. Venus goes retrograde on a regular basis, I would say. And it's not that it's profound from that perspective, but we are going to be reevaluating all the Venus ruled subjects, money, relationships, self-worth, that sort of thing. But Venus rules the sign of Taurus and rules the sign of Libra. So if you have planets or aspects relative to those zodiac signs, you want to make note of this. Now, Venus retrograde cycles relive or bring up patterns from the past. So the pattern that is being repeated this time was a theme back in March. Her retrograde cycle was March through April of 2017. So kind of go back and take a look. Last time she was Aries to Pisces retrogradation. You want to take a look at that period of time because there's going to be some relativity to this Venus retrograde cycle. And it'll just be interesting to note. Be mindful while Venus is in shadow, and we'll talk about the dates here in a minute. When Venus is in shadow, you will be revisiting. So as much as we were just talking about Venus sextiling Uranus, be mindful that you are more than likely going to pivot on choices that are made with Venus placements right now. You certainly will be reevaluating them. So Venus enters shadow today. Then Venus is going to move forward. She's in shadow, but move forward and enter Aries on the 4th of February. She's going to continue to move forward in the sign of Aries. When she hits 10 degrees on the 1st of March, she will start to go retrograde, and she's going to go over the areas that she previously marched through while she was in shadow so that we can evaluate choices made using that Venusian energy. Then once she starts going backwards, she's going to, again, back into Pisces, right? She's going into Aries. She's going to back into Pisces. Then she's going to station direct. So she re-enters Pisces, I believe, around the 27th of March. Again, very different energy as well. Venus in Pisces is that unconditional love. And then the minute Venus goes into Aries, it's a little bit more center focused, especially on your essence. If you know your essence, it's good for that purpose. But this energy is very different. So anyway, she backs out of the sign of Aries and into the sign of Pisces in retrograde, then goes direct on the 12th of April, and then marches forward again and going through that shadow cycle, and then going to come out of her retrograde on the 16th of May. So this is a very interesting time. Like I said, make note of these dates. So she goes retrograde today, enters Aries on the 4th of February. Then she's going to go retrograde on the 1st of March. Then she's going to re-enter Saturn on the 27th of March. Then she's going to station direct in Pisces and start moving forward on the 12th of April, but won't be fully up to speed and out of shadow until the 16th of May. So just be mindful of that, especially when you're making choices relative to those Venusian subjects. Be aware we're going to be reevaluating, okay? So then we're going to have a new moon on the 29th in the sign of Aquarius that's ruled by Uranus. So Uranus is also rules Aquarius. So this is a very strong week. Mercury's there. New moon is there. New beginnings. Again, be mindful of our thought processes now, because instant manifestation is certainly a thing. And with this new moon being in Aquarius, that is ruled by Uranus, what's interesting to note is Uranus, which has been retrograde since the 1st of September, is going to go direct the very next day. And as we know, when planets go direct, it is extremely powerful just before it goes direct. So Uranus at the time of this new moon is going to be extremely powerful and the ruler of this new moon. Now, it is also said that the ancient ruler of Aquarius was Saturn. So I like to think of the Aquarian themes moving forward and more of a new age look at it. So I'm speaking of Uranus being the ruler of Aquarius. Back to the process of that new moon and setting an intention. We will be breaking away from old patterns. So if there are patterns you wish to break free from, that's a great use of this energy. New ideas, thinking outside the box, especially using the energy of this YOD and some of the intuitive hits that are coming in, jot them down, and then let's use that as an intention for this new moon. We will be looking at unconventional paths that are unique, and it's excellent energy for that. Now, with Uranus here and Uranus going direct the very next day, the instability relative to Earth events, but also to yourself. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, and the sign of Taurus is all about stability from a tangible aspect. And when Uranus goes direct in this sign, boy, there could be Earth events, there could be all kinds of things that occur. So basically expect the unexpected. At the time of this new moon as well, Mercury, again, in the sign of Aquarius, very newly, is going to conjunct Pluto. Now, we've just witnessed the Sun conjunct Pluto, and it really forced transparency on all levels and honesty on all levels. So now we're looking at Mercury going through there, and it's truthful communications, truth coming to light, causing transformations. This is Pluto now, and secrets being revealed, shocks and revelations, because we've got Uranus here, bigger picture thinking, relative to science and technology. That could be a big part of this too. So a lot of energy coming in, but I also see this new moon in Aquarius as a frequency shift. Perhaps a frequency shift because Mercury's here too, that we all need. It's that jolt of energy, that electric energy that's coming in and pushing us to that five-dimensional awareness and really existing at on a five-dimensional plane. So very powerful. Look for the nudges that we will be getting. In addition, on the 30th, we will have more fun energy to supplement and help us with this frequency shift, because the Sun, which is in the sign of Aquarius, that's already had its conversation with Pluto, is now going to trine Jupiter. I love this energy. It brings truth or ideas to what we've been processing internally, because Jupiter's retrograde, but we know we want to expand. We know that we have a general idea about it, and that Sun speaking now in harmony to Jupiter that is still retrograde. This very dynamic energy is helping us with directional expansions. Higher consciousness is stepping in here, higher frequencies, allowing us to really root in that, from a transformational aspect, right? So then at the very end of the week, I believe it's the 1st, which would be Saturday, the 1st of February already, Venus is going to conjunct Neptune. I like this energy because Venus conjunct Neptune it's like spiritual connections, very artistic and creative energy, but it can also be very deep, dreamy love, like your dream connection, so to speak. But be careful. Remember what we just spoke about. Venus is going to go retrograde, and she's in shadow. You're going to be reevaluating some decisions here, so please keep that in mind, because then the very next day she's going to conjunct the North Node. So, that's unconditional love. The five-dimensional North Node in Pisces is unconditional love, really having a heart for the underserved or the vulnerable peoples. And in a 3D level, it's escapism. Self-deceptions, perhaps lack of boundaries. And I would really not want someone to make a decision based on what they believe to be this very dreamy love connection, only to find out it was an escapism, a use of escapism rooted in three-dimensional energy, because we perhaps didn't sit with the fact that Venus is going to go retrograde and then direct. So just be mindful here. But I really do like this energy. I love that we're going to get some powerful, very electric energy coming in that's going to shift us really quickly. Now, I decided to use the Animal Spirit deck today. It's been a while since they come off the shelf. I saw it on the shelf the other day, and I'm like, we need to get them off the bench and in the game. This Kim Krans, love this deck. Oddly enough, we had two cards jump out, and I want to read them both because the first one's profound and it's something that has direct relativity to this energy, but the second card that jumped out also speaks about some of the dynamics this week. The first one is Buffalo. Grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth. This is an earth card, earth element card. Yet its heart and mind rise toward heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn may every turn, may we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. It does not escape me. Do you see the lightning in this card? This is the traditional tarot rider Waite decks Tower card. And I think that's really what's coming for us this week from a dimensional shift perspective. Again, Earth card. The other card that popped out is an air card, and I really feel that this frequency shift is pulling us more into a directional of air energy. The card that jumped out is the butterfly. I must read this. Undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon. Committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice, or a prayer done at the same place and time will do wonders for lifting a butterfly's spirit. I'm telling you, can't make these cards up sometimes. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please do click the like button. If you want to co-create with me, please do share this video with others who could be helped by this video. If you want to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button. Any comments or suggestions, post them in the comment box below. I'm so glad you joined me today. Have a pleasant week of very fast transformations, new energy coming in, all shifting us to a high level of consciousness. Namaste.